welcome back to Neuqua Connection. Today I'm joined with Mayor Steve Cherico. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Sure.
So for my first question is, how long have you been the mayor of Naperville?
Just completed my first term. Term is 4 years, so starting my 5th year now.
Awesome. And how long have you been a resident of Naperville?
I've been here for 59 years. My family moved here in 1960.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was 6 months old and was born in New Jersey, and then pretty much been here my whole life. Went, for college, was out of town for a while, but.
Yeah. And did you go to high school in the area?
I did. Went to Naperville North for 1 year, and then Naperville Central for 3 years.
So what did you do before you were elected mayor?
So when I was working my way through college, I started a company called Great Western Flooring, and that has been my career ever since college. I started the business, and it's been a family business ever since. My daughters now run the business. They're both graduates, proud graduates of Neuqua, and so they together run the company.
And what made you want to run for mayor and get into politics?
I think the big thing was that I was watching our state get into financial trouble and seeing our city sort of following that same path of too much debt, too much spending, and we really just didn't have a good financial plan. And so just trying to apply some of those business, good, best practices in the business world that could be applied towards city finances. And so, we really worked hard at just getting the debt down and changing our revenue stream to make sure it was more sustainable and just putting together good financial policies and strategies that were long-term. So.
Did you do any other political jobs before you were mayor?
I was city councilman for 4 years. Yeah. So I was elected to city council in 2011 and served for 4 years, and then ran for mayor in 2015. Yeah.
So what are some of your responsibilities as the mayor?
The big thing is public safety. I mean, in everything that we do, it's about public safety, whether it's police and fire, which are the obvious things. Less obvious is like taking care of our roads and making sure that traffic signalization is working properly and the roads are in good and safe condition. Sidewalks are in good and safe condition. Naperville also has 2 utilities, water and electric, and making sure that the water is clean and healthy. When it gets delivered to the homes, you don't get any second chances on that. If we're wrong, even a tiny fraction of the time, a lot of people could get sick or possibly die from it. And electricity is just as important from a public safety standpoint. Electricity goes out, our traffic signals don't work, our heaters don't work in homes, furnaces don't work. You don't have heat if it's freezing cold, or air conditioning in the summertime. People depend on medical equipment to run them, to help keep them alive, dialysis machines and things like that. So having reliable electric is a public safety challenge. So that all those things that we do, whether it be police and fire or roads, infrastructure, stormwater management, it's all about keeping the town safe. And so that's really what we do. Even collecting garbage is a public safety thing. I mean, if garbage piles up, rodents start to come about, and you have disease and things like that. So all of these things that we do on a local level are about keeping the community safe.
And what's one of your favorite jobs that you have, or what do you feel is the most rewarding?
Most rewarding, I think when we are able to solve a problem, people come to us all the time to, when they have issues with our zoning laws or with our ordinances, and so if we're able to come together and solve a problem and get it done, it's not easy to get 5 votes. We have a 9-person council, and you need 5 votes to get something passed. It's not always easy to collect 4 other votes, and so when you're able to do that, it's a good feeling like you've been able to accomplish something for the city.
And what's something that you do in your free time when you don't have to save the city?
Oh boy, free time. You know what? We have a pool, and so we have 2 dogs, and so we spend a lot of time out in the summer in the backyard just hanging by the pool. And we have 7 kids, blended family, and so many of them now live in Naperville, grandchildren, so they're constantly coming over.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Who are some people that have been your biggest supporters throughout your journey?
My wife, I think, and my kids that have been great supporters. It's really hard for a family to deal with the whole election process.
Yeah.
And so having a partner who is supportive of that is really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what are some of the hardships that you faced either in your job or in your election season? And how has that affected how you've gone through the process?
I think what's the most difficult now today is that with social media and just sort of this unfiltered world that we live in, with people being able to have access to the world, basically through various medias, I think it makes it a very unpleasant experience to, be an elected official. Yeah, so that's something that we'll either have to get some decorum to help guide people. I think now it's different because even younger students in 7th and 8th grade are being taught about social media behaviors, because an inappropriate photo or something you say inappropriate can change your life forever, right? Adults, my age group, we never obviously took coursework on how to behave on social media. I think it's unfortunate because when you see how many of them do behave, you know that it's inappropriate. But that is changing politics in a bad way, in my view. Yeah. So.
What is one of your most memorable moments you've had as an elected official?
I think one of the things that I have done that I really was proud of doing is that we're building a park right now called the JC's Park right next to City Hall. And it's going to be just an outdoor workspace. And we had to raise all the money. I was raising all the money privately to get that built, so we didn't have any taxpayer money into it. And so I went out to meet with people and raised about $500,000 to build this park. And the park is almost done. In fact, we're going to have our dedication in about 2 weeks. And so to see it coming together is it's a great feeling. It's awesome. Yeah.
And what do you think has been your greatest accomplishment?
Well, the greatest accomplishment would have to be, hands down, all the financial decisions and policies that we made. We turned the city around financially in 4 years to the point where we were just completely heading the wrong direction to a point now today where we are in the best shape our city has ever been in financially.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that you plan to do to improve on the city in this next coming term?
I think the big part now is that we need to start focusing on our infrastructure. We have a couple of bridges that are getting old, and we've already, engineers have tested them. The main street, the Washington Street Bridge, right downtown Naperville, our most heavily traveled bridge, it needs to be replaced. And it's going to be a huge project. It's going to be very disruptive to the city. But we have several major public improvement projects that we need to get taken care of. So.
And how do you plan on doing that?
It's gonna be tough because it affects so many people and so many lives, and so we're going to have to, do a lot of civic engagement, get people involved, and make sure that we have it well planned, and of course you have to get the funding. Yeah. And so that's always tricky. But that'll be something that we'll be working on during the next 4 years. And
how could people who want to help get involved?
Boards and commissions are the best way. I mean, we have all sorts. Naperville works. Our form of government works with individuals, residents being involved with boards and commissions, and they do the heavy lifting. They do a deep dive on whatever the subject matter is, whether it be transportation or parking, economic development, financial, you name it, planning and zoning, and all these individuals get involved and really deliberate and make sure that a recommendation is a good one that's for their city council. So people want to get involved. That's a great way to do it. Yeah.
And for my final question is, what are some advice that you can give to high school students who want to get involved in local government?
Same thing. We have student liaisons on all of our boards and commissions, and they're truly positions where you're making a difference. You are your involvement, your input is helping to shape and form policy in the future. And so it's not just something to put on your resume. It's actually doing something that's going to change the future of your city. And And so getting involved, we have student liaisons on every one of our boards and commissions. So getting involved on those is a great way to really learn about government, but also make a difference and give back to your community.
Well, thank you so much for coming, Mayor Cherico.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
I'm Noelle Mayer, and thank you for watching NEQA Connection.